with our activators, so please join me on 831 GeoImage Map Analysis. Question. Question.
Do they like bottles Fiji water?
Okay, I don't know the answer to that. I assume so. That's why it's called Fiji water, but I don't know the answer to that. All right, so why?
Wait, which one is it? Using directions.
Okay, why our conversation was on.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. Okay, I feel like Mr. Hemmer added something in my box, and that is not the one I needed. Okay, so please go to 831, using directions GeoImage. What do you mean you can't?
There you go. Now it finally did it.
Okay, don't do the first one, do the second one. I gotta take that first one off.
Wait,
The first one is not correct. Alright, this is where we should be right here. Okay?
Is it 831?
The second one. Listen to directions, okay? Using directions GeoImage map analysis. Alright, so let's get started for today. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am capable. I am in charge of my destiny. And our mantra together, today is a new day with a new opportunity to make your world a better place to be. What are you doing to make that come true? How are you making your world a better place to be? Here is clue number 3 in our Where in the World. The architect who designed it was rewarded by having his eyes pulled out. Some people say his hands were crushed too. Whatever really happened, it was all done so the man couldn't build another building to rival this one. Good history behind this. Maybe you know what it is. Maybe you'll figure it out by the end of the week. All right, here's what I want for you to do today. Use this image to help you fill in the correct blanks. Okay, so you can see that you have some drop downs. Okay, see how it drops down? Okay, drop down questions, a grid and index. This was one of our map elements. So take a look at this image and fill in the blanks that go with grid and index. The next one, you're going to use this image as a reference. What is located in D8? Okay, so just like in math, D8, what's there? Okay, I'm not asking for answers. I'm explaining the assignment. And then using the image as a reference, what is located in A4? All right, so use the graphics you have to help you find those things. Dave's question? Huh? No, I have not said that. There's questions on number 1, so yes, you would have to do number 1. Are there questions about our task? Yes, sir?
The second one, the thing that's inside of
We'll come back and talk about it, so keep working on it.
It is.
And we'll come back and talk about it when we're done, so we work at it. So what is a series of horizontal and vertical lines? What is that called? Shout it out.
Grid.
That's the grid part, okay? It's not your latitude, it's not the numbers. Sometimes maps use an index, okay? And
it's latitude. That's latitude.
we'll use latitude and longitude, but smaller maps use a more basic grid with numbers and or letters. It says right here, latitude and longitude. So what helps the map reader find specific location? The index, by following the numbers and letters of the grid. So was this a trick?
No.
Why?
Because you just have to be smart.
Where were all the answers? Right here in the text. Okay? So is there a reason we're not scoring a 7 on that?
You can get a context.
Is there a reason we're not scoring 100?
Okay.
Okay, I don't want you to shout out your grades. Okay, there's not a reason when all the answers are right there. Use your reading skills. So this one is D8, so here is D, and I'm scrolling down to 8. So look at the things that are in here. I got a parking lot, I got this McGrath Learning Center, I got the tennis courts, look at what my options are. The Penland Administration Building, the Children's Center, the McGrath Computer Learning Center, or the Greenhouse.
McGrath.
Right here, the McGrath Center.
Barely.
Okay, you're looking. No, this is the 8.
I know, but it's
Majority
like.
of it. Okay.
Yo,
We
let's
don't need
go.
it, guys. And our next one is an A4, so I'm going to A and to 4. What is the only thing that's in this A4? It's Pacer Park soccer field. I go down and look and see what my choices are, and my last choice is the Pacer Park field. All right? Okay, so let's go back to our home page. Some of you have novels out. I need them put up. I have started for the day. The next time I'll take your book and I'll keep it for the day. We are going to Global Grid. If you did not turn in your neighborhood mental map, make sure you get that taken care of. So I'll look real quickly to see who in first period has not been able to do that. Okay, because that's going to go to a 0 today. So Jenna, Layden, Bennett, Briley, Jamari, Wesley, Davis, Garrett, Jaden, y'all did not get your mental map turned in yesterday. That was the picture of your neighborhood. Yes, ma'am? Okay, if I just called your name, it shows that you do not have a post. So that means you might have put it in the wrong place. Baxter, Tyler, now's not the time. Now's not the time. Alright. Okay, so just a reminder that if you didn't get that turned in, make sure you make that happen. So we're going to Global Grid. Go ahead and start your attempt. So we're going to be walking through this lesson together. This is basically a lesson on how we look at the earth. Yes, sir?
Can I get tissue?
Of course. How we look at the earth. Okay, so you're going to be taking some notes based on what we are doing in class. Let me pull up the Global Grid PowerPoint. What is what called? It's called Global Grid. Okay, guys, it is an assignment that is done on there. Would you please just follow directions? So your page is going to look similar to mine. Okay. What? Honey, you weren't here, so of course you can turn it in tomorrow. All right. So how can the Global Grid help us better understand the earth? So basically when we talk about the earth, there are many places on the earth that don't have a specific address. So how do we find it? What is a way in which I can get you somewhere that doesn't have a 151 East Road, okay? I'm not rhetorical. So the way in which we do that is this system, this Global Grid system. It uses lines of latitude and longitude. And we're going to look at that more specifically. Okay? So you are following along on Global Grid. I see some of you not even on Global Grid. Okay. Upcoming, look for the assignment called Global Grid. Come on, guys. All right, so where is it? Determining absolute location. So lines of latitude, and I will refer to these all year long because they are super important about everything that goes on the earth. The lines of latitude determine our climate, which then determines our behavior. We do certain things because of the way in which our environment is. The crops we plant, the clothing we wear. Do you think that people in Greenland are dressing the same way today that you are? No, why not?
It's colder.
Because they are at a higher latitude, making it colder for them. So they are most likely not wearing shorts today. It's too cool. Okay? And then our lines of longitude together create this global grid. All right, so here you can see it mapped out on a map, okay? So when we talk about lines of latitude and longitude, on our latitude, we can either go north or south of our zero line. The zero line runs all the way around the world. We call that the equator. Okay, so we can go 0 to 90 north or 0 to 90 south. So whenever you talk latitude or longitude, you got to know north or south. Okay, I can't just say 30 degrees because 30 degrees north, 30 degrees south. Okay, and then our lines of longitude go from 0 to 180 east or west. Does anybody know what the zero line on our longitude is called? Very good, the prime meridian. All right, so I feel like maybe y'all have something to do here. What's your number 1 look like? Number 2, number 3. Okay. Yeah, we're getting closer. No, you're not watching the video. I am the video.
Okay.
All right. All right. So this looks like yours. Okay? Yes. All right. So where are we? We start always at our line of 0 when we're talking about latitude. So bring your equator up to your line 0 or the middle. Yes. These are coordinates. Yes. Okay. Move your equator up to the middle. And then we can either go north or south. So what's at the highest north? That's where Santa is. Okay, so put our North Pole up there. Okay, I don't need it. I don't need it, gentlemen. And put your South Pole at the bottom. Are you dragging? I see some of you not doing. Are y'all dragging these to the correct place? Okay. All right, and then we have increments in this particular one of 30s. Typically, you see increments of 15. So 15, 30, 45, 60. That's typically what you see. But sometimes you'll see lines of 30. But if you're only doing lines of 30, that's a lot of guessing in between. Where am I supposed to be if I'm like 17? Okay? Gives a lot of guessing. So a 15 increment is much more accurate if you're using like a map. Okay, so what other options do y'all have on yours? Everything that I show is all you have? Okay. All right, so match it up.
No, we have 60 degrees south.
Let's do longitude.
We have
60
degrees.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
We have 60, 30 north. Yeah, we have
All right.
We got
So longitude runs east to west. So the lines run north to south, but the direction runs east to west. Okay? So we got to have in the middle our prime meridian. So you should be going to your next slide, I believe. And again, notice we're going in increments of 30 here. So if you are at the prime meridian, here's our key. Prime meridian's running through the middle. If we go to the right, we're going to the east. So we're going to say east, 30 degrees east, 30 degrees west. Okay? So I can go to the left, which would put me west. Okay? It's the same thing as looking at a compass rose. Never eat sour watermelon. So which direction are you going? Yes, sir.
What's the
Prime meridian is in the middle. It's 0.
This one.
It's the arrow.
All right, when we put it, do what?
Wait, was it the 60 and why is it all messed? Why is it all not in a line?
What do you mean, why is it not all in that line?
It's not in a line.
Yeah, so which one is this?
So, look at what it's on, guys.
Literally
It's
on
on
two.
And so that's going to be your 30. It's your next.
Different spots.
Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, I shouldn't have to hold your hand through that. Drag those into a spot. All right, so together this makes the global grid. What's on your next page?
This.
Okay. All right, so now we are going to be looking at some locations, okay? So label it we're going 15 degrees increments. Now, notice that it didn't go below the equator, but help me here. If I went 15, 30, 45, 60 north, what would I go if I go this way?
Negative. South.
I would not go negative.
South.
I would go south, so help me count it out. This would be 15 south, 30 south, 45 south, 60 south, okay? And this is my prime meridian or my zero longitude. And I went to the left or west. I went 15, 30, 45, 60, but I didn't label this side. So what would I be going if I went this way?
East.
30 east, 45 east, 60 east, okay? So now we have to figure out where is this star. So we always do latitude first and longitude second. So let's figure out what our latitude is. We would be 1, 2, 3 right here. So what's our latitude? 45 north, and 1, 2, 3 over would be 45 west. So that is 45 north, 45 west.
That's the first one, right?
I'm assuming so. Make yours look like mine, guys. Come on.
Yeah, this is
Okay. Listen, I do not have your page in front of me. So y'all are going to have to be self-managers. Here's our next star. What do we do first?
The latitude.
Latitude. So let's see where we are. Which direction are we going?
North.
East.
We are not going east.
North.
We are going north. And then we're going to do longitude next. We've gone 1, 2 lines over, but it's not marked.
So it's 30 west.
30 east.
Here is my west. So I'm 15, 30 east. So what is my latitude? 30 north. What is my longitude? 30 east. So you should have found 30 north, 30 east. Look at where my star is. What direction do I have to go first?
South.
South. How many degrees is that? 30 degrees south. Latitude first. Now my longitude would be
30 degrees west.
30 degrees west.
80.
Okay, 30 degrees south, 30 degrees west.
No, we know.
Okay, but we need to figure out the last one. Why? Is it about just being able to match the answers?
No.
No, because you're about to do an assignment that asks you to find latitude and longitude. What do I do first?
15 south.
What do I do first?
Latitude.
Latitude. So I went which direction?
South.
How many degrees?
15.
15.
45.
15. And what is my longitude?
15.
1, 2, 3 times 15 would be 45. So I went 15 degrees south, 45 degrees which direction?
We said 15 south.
15 south, 45 what direction?
East.
Okay, match those up.
This is like
All right, so latitude and climate. So latitude is super important to climate behaviors. So at the 0 degree line, the equator, that's the hottest place on Earth because it receives the most direct sunlight. Okay? And then as you move up or down in latitude, the temperature changes. So around the 66 degree mark, north or south, you have cold weather. Which is why, what continent's down here?
South Pole.
Continent.
Antarctica.
Antarctica is down here and it's very cold. It's below the 66 mark. Okay, and when you go up high to the North Pole, that's why if you go to Santa's house, it is always icy and snowy. It is above the 66 degree latitude. Okay, so super important. And this year, as we study geography, we're always going to look at it through a lens of latitude. So I want you to start ingraining in your minds, I understand why their behaviors are the way they are because they're about this latitude. Okay? So this part of this lesson is the most important. Okay? Understanding the relationship between latitude and, I think you need this one. All right, so here are our dividing points. Does this look about what you need, or do I need to keep going?
No, this is good.
Well, I feel like I'll have more answers than me.
Because we're still going.
But I think you might need to go one more. This?
No, you gotta go back.
You were at was what we
Okay.
Yeah, that was
All right. Oh, I see. Over here. So here are your dividing points. Equator, first and foremost. Hottest place on Earth. 0 degrees. Then you have these two purples. 23 degrees north and 23 degrees south. They are considered our tropics. So anything that is tropical islands, guess where those land? Clayton, I need that off. Off. Get them out. No headphones are allowed unless your teachers have given you permission. Can you even see the board to do this with us? Clayton, can you get up in this seat right here? Because I'm thinking you're not on the same page as me. Quickly. So your tropics, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. Heard of those words before?
Yes.
What are they? They're zodiacs, okay? And there is some relation to the zodiac and the latitude and its behavior at that latitude. And then, as I said, about the 66 degree on either side, you have your Arctic Circle or your Antarctic Circle. That's when things really start to get cold, okay? All right, so next part, we'll go in bits and pieces.
Whoa.
Okay, so find only these parts. Your blues. Blue is our color for cold. So your Arctic Circle is cool to bitterly cold, and we call those the polar zones.
That's why it's a polar zone.
Polar zones.
Does it matter which one's polar?
Yeah, does it matter which one's polar one and polar two?
There isn't a polar one.
Yes, there is.
And what number are y'all on?
6. What's which one's polar 1 and which one's polar 2? Does it matter?
Oh, great. Thank you for that. Polar 1 is at the top, and polar 2 is at the bottom.
I had it right like that.
What? Where does the
Okay,
It goes in the blue one.
it goes in the blue box. Guys, are color-coded. Okay, let him figure it out. Sometimes we have to figure things out. All right, so that's our blue area. We call that the polar zones. Okay? Then here in the middle, we call these the tropics or tropical. And typically, weather in the tropical is considered hot. So anything 23 degrees north or south of the equator is in our tropics. And they have very hot weather there. Yes, sir?
Why is it called Tropic of Cancer?
Okay, we're not going to go into that right now. You can ask Google that and see what Google tells you. And in the in-between areas, the biggest areas actually on our latitude map is what we know as the temperate areas. Not temperature, temperate. Temperate has hot summers, cold winters, moderate spring and fall. 4 times. Okay? 4 times. Which one of those do we live in? We live in the temperate. We are about 34 degrees latitude north. So we have pretty decent weather year-round, but we do have 4 distinct seasons. Okay? The closer you get to your polar areas, the more you really see that. You see hot summer, cool fall, really cold winter, cool back off in spring. Okay? We necessarily kind of blend together here in South Carolina because we have year-round pretty good temperatures, but overall, pretty good. Temperate 1, temperate 2, in order to get them correct. Okay? So just go 1, 2 in order. All right, so what zone do you think most of the people in the world live in? What do you think, Kevin?
Temperate because it's the biggest.
Temperate, it's the biggest. Good. What challenges would the polar zone present to people? Yes.
It'd be super cold.
Super cold. What else?
It's freezing and
Okay. What else? Lack of vegetation, right? Food.
Water would be harder to come by as you'd have to go and melt everything, but you need to have vegetation, which means you can't really start firing like coal or gasoline.
Good. You got lots of water, but
It's frozen solid, so
right?
you can't get to the water.
How do I get water when it's all frozen?
It's the thing that you can have plenty of water, but you can't get to the water. There's no point.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Lack of resources. Yeah. Okay. Do you think any people live in the polar zone?
Yes.
Give me an example of who
Scientists.
you might know. Yes. Miss Garrett's turn. Where do you think scientists might live? Okay, upper parts of Canada possibly. And
Scientists will make research centers there that have the home heating and the food area that they need for like little camps.
okay,
Also, I think oil miners maybe.
possibly.
Sort of like towards the edge of Greenland areas with iron. They might find there or something like that.
And they try, but if
It's
I
hard
have
to-
too much icebergs, I can't. Yes. Okay. Do you think any people live in polar zones? Okay. Okay, so Alaska, we're going to have a lot of Aleuts that live up in Alaska. Alaska is still very populated and it is very polar. Okay, what challenges might come in a tropical zone? So 23 north, 23 south. What would you say, Coda?
Very hot.
Very hot. You have to adjust to temperature. Okay, yes. Okay.
There's a higher increase of mosquitoes and bugs that can easily give you malaria or diseases. And there's
One of
also
the
hard-
biggest areas of disease comes from our tropics because it is so hot and humid. It is a breeding ground for insects.
And
Okay.
predators would be also there, so you have to be careful of jaguars and stuff like that.
Alligators.
Plus
Yes.
the factors of
I'm sorry.
and it would be harder to keep like livestock there because things would eat them. They would get sick from disease from like the insects. And there are other dangers of pitfalls, stuff like that.
Okay. Yes.
Sunburns.
Okay. How does your skin react to the sun? Okay. Why do you say not enough water?
Just like if there's like little ponds of water that's too hot out, they can evaporate.
So could evaporation be a problem because it's too hot? Okay, and those are things we're going to look at with our study of climate through latitude. Okay, so submit, that should be all, oh, no, I think you have more. What?
Six.
Oh, that's it? Okay. What other two factors besides latitude affect climate? One is being near a large body of water. So guys, this is a reality for us. What large body of water are we near?
The Atlantic
The Atlantic Ocean. So here lately, we have been noticing a lot of rain in our area. Do you know why we've had a lot of rain the last
Hurricanes.
days?
Evaporation.
No, not because of evaporation. Because there are hurricanes, and where are the hurricanes?
Coming near the coast and they
They're
come through
coming
there
in
and
the
it sends
ocean.
rains that are
So we're about 2.5-ish hours from the Atlantic Ocean, but we still feel the effects of that because we are near a large body of water. Another thing that affects climate is elevation. So if you go up north to Greenville or maybe hit Asheville right inside the border of North Carolina, you're going to notice temperature changes because you are going closer to the sky. So elevation also affects the temperature that we feel.
And it affects
Okay?
your breathing.
So lines of latitude plus lines of longitude give us what we know as the global grid. We use the global grid to find our absolute location. And I will show you how we use that today. Hey Siri, what is my absolute location?
One sec. You're at 274 East Macon, South Carolina.
So he gave me my address, but underneath it, it says I am 33.52397. I don't need all that. 33.5 degrees north and 81 degrees west. That is my absolute location. That's how GPSs work. They're not working on that 274 East Pine Log, although it knows that address. It is working on the grid system. So whoever invented it was super smart in a way to figure out how can a computer translate a 274 East Pine Log to its absolute location, read it off a satellite, and then tell you how to get there. That's super advanced. Yes.
I submitted mine. I didn't really say thing, but it said I got two of them wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, because
The issue could have been you put the
you put east or west mixed up.
east and west
No,
was.
there's
Okay, guys. We're not going to discuss it right now. I can look at it from my point, but y'all aren't going to figure it out from yours. Okay? All right. So that is our latitude and longitude using a globe system. Yes, ma'am?
So in North Augusta, either like North Augusta or Augusta, beside Topgolf is the news channel. I forgot what channel it is, but it's like where they film. There's like a fenced-in area, and there's like a lot of different satellites. I think they use for like detecting the weather or something. Maybe.
Very much
Do
so.
they have different like meetings? Like do different satellites do?
I'm sure they do, but I don't know the answer to that. Most of the satellites that use latitude and longitude to report GPS direction are actually in space. They are in the atmosphere, not on the ground. Okay? All right, hit me up with latitude and longitude practice. Latitude and longitude practice. Clayton, we are on latitude and longitude practice. Clayton.
Hey, now it's going to see
exactly the same.
You need to watch my video.
Okay, I'm not doing that right now. I'm right in the middle of instruction.
We need to watch my video.
We have the video right here.
All right, everybody needs a map. So let's talk about the two different maps we have. We are on the world side, not the U.S. side. And we are going to be using latitude and longitude. All right, so if you are on the big map like this, you have the same map that I have up on the board, okay? This is this map. So find your equator on that map. And if you want to work with a partner on that map, that's fine, okay? That's where our equator is. You can go north or south. Somebody look at this map and tell me what increments we're going in.
15.
30.
What increments are we going in?
15.
30.
Oh, it says 15, 15.
Are you looking at the same map as us? Yes, sir, Garrett. Okay, we are going in increments of 30. So 30, 60. Okay? Now, notice on this map that they line Africa in the center. Okay? So here's my prime meridian. It runs right through Africa. Take a look at the other map.
It ain't even.
It's because it's a globe.
Take a look at the other map.
This side.
Is your prime meridian on the other map in the center of the map?
No.
No. Where's your prime meridian?
I'm like right here. It's in the same spot.
No, sir, it's not.
Oh, wait, it's right here.
I mean, it runs through Africa.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But Is it in the center of the page?
No.
It is not. Okay? Now, understand that because that's how you have to read the map. Okay? So we always want to start at 0, 0. So if you're using this map, 0, 0 is way over here. If you're using this map, 0, 0 is almost exactly in the middle of your page. Okay? So will everybody find your 0, 0 on whatever map you're using? Yes. No. These are imaginary lines, not physical lines. All right, put your finger on your 0, 0. Whichever map you are using, put your finger on your 0, 0, please. That is 0 degree latitude, 0 degree longitude. Where do the two meet? Jackson, I should see a finger. Okay, guys. 0, 0. Find your 0 latitude, 0 longitude. You should be somewhere near.
Samtone
No.
Yeah, this is like Seoton. It depends on the map.
Yeah, say
The name,
Sao
Tome Principe is right underneath it.
South Home and Princip.
No, for me it's like exactly on
TLC.
for this one.
That's just the one. That's just one.
Okay.
But remember,
Alright, so now we are going to attempt to find some places. Do not shout out. Okay, do not shout out. Give everybody an opportunity to find the place. Okay? So here's what I want you to look for. 30 degrees north. You're on 0. Which way are we going? Up or down? Up. So go up to 30 degrees north. Just stay on that line. Okay. And go up north. I should see everybody's finger because I need to know that everybody is doing this. Your finger is on 30 degrees north. Go up north. Alright, now it wants us to go 110 degrees west. So if I'm at 30 degrees north, which way am I going to go? To the left or the right? Never eat sour watermelons. I gotta go this way, guys. Please don't correct me when I say what I say. If you say it differently, that's on you, right? We don't need to do that. All right, so we're at 30 degrees north. Now we gotta go 110. So some of you are counting by 15, some of you are counting by 30. So 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. So 110 is going to be somewhere in between your 90 and no 105. Right? You got a 105?
yeah, we do.
A 105, and then next would be 120. So we're going to be close to the 105. Right? So I went up 30, and my map doesn't even have the 30, so I'm going between 20 and 40. And on prime meridian, I got to go 100, not quite, 100, 105, okay? Or was it 115?
It says 115. It's 110.
110.
Wait, how did you?
Ooh, we would not be in China.
How'd you
Where
get
are
right?
we?
On this map, it's
We're near like Phoenix.
Is it west or east? Look at your letter.
Yeah. You mean negative.
Yeah, we're close to
Yeah.
like
Alright, so look at it again. Conversation voices are off. Look at it again. We're at 0. We went up to 30 north. Then we're going over to about 110. So here's 100, and there's 140, so I need to be about 110. Where would I be?
How did you
Right
get
here.
110 if you just said 140?
Here is 110, honey. It's my
No, you just said
direction.
140 and you went more. What?
No, I didn't. Here's 100 and 140. 100, 120. So I need to go in between here. So what's going to be right here in this North America part?
The
It's
border
Phoenix.
between
We're near Phoenix and New Mexico. I mean,
it's the border between
Mexico.
I
I don't know how to say this state. It's like
California.
So look at what our choices are.
Might be
Gone?
California.
It's like
Livornia.
Is that like California?
Wait, we're starting
Good,
in
no, we're nowhere near
Oh,
Uganda.
California.
Right? It's either California or
Mexico.
Mexico. So let's look at it again.
It looks like Mexico.
My map is not as precise as yours. Okay?
It's definitely not.
So if I go up 30 and over, here's my 0. I'm going 30, 60, 90. This would be 120, so 110 is somewhere about here.
So Mexico.
Okay, let's go with Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico.
Unless we decide later that we were off. Okay, our next one is 0 degrees, 60 west. Okay, so what's that telling us to do? Where's our finger? Where's our finger?
On this one.
0 and 0. Okay, everybody went back to 0, 0. Okay, are we going latitude anywhere?
No.
No, it wants us to stay at 0, so we're on the equator, and it wants us to go which direction?
West. West.
How many degrees? 60. So we're at 0, 0, 30. Oh, this one's not.
It's like mammoths.
So here is 60 and 0. Where am I?
South America.
I am in South America. Who knows what continent, what country this is in South America?
Ghana.
Brazil. That is our biggest country in. So we are going 0 degrees, 60 west is Brazil.
So what do we use?
Okay, please do not shout out. Are you looking at your answer choices?
Yeah, but there's one South America.
There is Brazil, honey. Come on.
I'm slow.
Alright, do not shout out, because we need to see if we can find it. Alright, go back to your 0, 0. Everybody got finger on 0, 0.
Oh, yeah. Number 2 is Uganda.
We are going 40 degrees north. Which way are we going?
40 degrees north.
Up. We're going up. Alright, just exit out of that. Don't press submit. Just exit out of it. We'll come back and finish latitude and longitude